Alright guys, welcome to the stream. Welcome everybody. Hope everybody's finding their way into the stream. My name is Eli and I run an indie studio called TreeFall Studios. Welcome to the stream today. I just looped our video. I have no idea how many times you guys had to watch that. I didn't finish the stream starting video that I mentioned yesterday. I'm going to get to it probably this afternoon or something like that, maybe, if we're lucky. Let me go ahead and check one more thing on my phone and we'll get started. But, whoa, space my name. Welcome to the stream, good sir. I got a shout out coming your way too, Mr. New Patron. And he says, audio sounds really good today. Did you change anything? You know what? I did. The only thing that I've changed is I can't really show you guys because if I turn the camera, you'll see the PS4 dev kit. So I can't really change the setting just yet. But on my desk, I got something. I got a new desk mat, and the desk mat is about this long. You guys can't see my hands, so it's just outside the camera frame. It's about 3 feet long and 1 foot wide, and it's just to cover the desk so you don't get scratches on it. It takes the place of a mouse pad, so I don't have a mouse pad. And the microphone is sitting on top of this desk pad now. And I think this might be the first stream. Well, no, I think I had it in yesterday's stream, but I guess where the microphone is sitting, maybe we're not maybe getting as much wood echo from the desk, and instead it's kind of soaking up because this is like a felt mat. So maybe that's it. That would be the only change. Nothing else has changed, I don't think. So hopefully that is actually helping, and it sounds good. Glad it sounds good. Welcome into the stream, everyone. We'll be started in just a second. Yeah, let's just make sure this looks good here. All right, cool. Let's get started on this level that we're never gonna finish. Welcome in, everybody. I see we got some viewers here. So let's go to our small screen and here. So guys, this level, I don't think it's ever getting done. I don't believe it will be. This is gonna cause us to never release this game. You guys are never playing Maze. Sorry, it's this level's fault. But we're gonna finish it today, maybe. So let me show you guys what I did. So I textured this spot and this spot since you guys saw it. I finished this whole side and did all of these and did the bottom since yesterday. Actually, I haven't. No, yeah, I did that. I did finish that. I finished the bottom curves. I finished the roof inside here and all of this hallway. I also started doing these. I textured this part. This one's not done. This one is done, except for that part. Let's do that so we don't forget. And let's go to our UV editing mode. Of course, it changes our camera view. It remembers where we were last. How silly. Yeah, so we got that one done. All the hallways aren't even all done either. We need to have a couple fall doors that we need to connect here so you can get out. But I did a little bit. But, you know, I warned you guys. I told you yesterday that there was a big storm coming to our area. And, you know, we got to be careful about the power. So directly after we finished the stream, you know, we got dinner. And then we had to go to the grocery store. And at that point, the bottom just fell out on us. And it just absolutely was crazy here, and I unplugged my computer to be safe. I pulled the surge out the wall, and I ended up not really working for a few hours, so we're not done. Not done with this level once again, and I'm annoyed by all this part. I would like to see this part be done, so maybe we'll just go ahead and do some of these real quick. But yeah, maybe this stream, we're only a couple minutes into the stream, so whoa. Got some leakage. We'll probably get it done, I would say. But I've said that like 4 days in a row now, so I don't know. Don't know if you can trust it. But I hope everyone's doing well today. I'm feeling pretty pumped up. I'm not too tired yet. I did go to the gym before this stream, so I am gonna probably burn out a little bit, but I'm feeling pretty good right now. Hope everyone is doing great today. Looks like I seamed that correctly. That's good. All right, let's go ahead and reset all of these. That looks good. Get our grass in there done. Let's see if we can get some of the floors here done without pulling up too many walls. Looks like we're not leaking any seams there. So let's get that floor done. Okay, let's get this one done. This is going to make this level, it's going to look like it's going to be done way faster once we just blow through these sections. Yeah. Uh-huh. Let's assign it the correct material. Let's pop a reset. Let's go here, scale it up to our correct value, reset it back on the beginning of the frame. The 1x1. Already we're doing good. Yo, Eddie Wright, welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. I'm using the Unity game engine for this game. Currently, we're in Blender. This is our modeling software. And we're going to be putting this level in the game engine in just a little bit. But yeah, we use Unity. And if you want more specifics, if you're a game developer, this game is going to be made in 2021 version. We're not all the way updated. We use some of the lifetime stable versions, you know, so we can successfully release on console without having too many issues. So yeah, we're using 2021.3 something, I think. 3. I'll pull up Unity Hub and I can tell you in just a sec. I'll have that running in the background. I already fixed that. Let's unsnap this, pop it up here, re-snap it down. But welcome into the stream. Appreciate you being here and asking a question in the chat. All right, so that looks good. Look how fast we're getting this textures done. Once we just come around here and just blow through this is gonna look a lot better. Gotta be careful in here in these hallways though. Let's make sure. Oh gosh, wireframe is not even our friend here. Let's go in slow. Yeah, we're gonna have to be careful because some of these are gonna be off because of the extra walls, and we got to build some more extra walls, but I think we're safe to do it here. Let's go ahead and like get these, and let's go ahead and grab it. So it looks like we're using 2021.327. That is our current Unity engine for our other developers out there. All right, got those. Well, this guy, he wasn't having it. He's facing the wrong way. Blender likes to get confused, guys. It gets confused when you make holes and you cut out doors and stuff. It doesn't think that that one wants to go the same way as everyone else. It looks like they did that one right, though. Let's go in here so we can see. Not there. Here. Let's get these. Reset. All right. And then, yeah, can we get, yeah, we can't do that. We can't select the loop. We can do the loop down here, but this one, we deleted some stuff and it's got some wonky pieces. Let's assign it the correct material. Let's get it on the right scale. All right. Well, it's gonna say we're looking good. This guy, he's the wrong way too. A lot of hand fixing. This level has caused us to do a lot of fixing by hand. Really slowing down. Yeah. Also, space by name. Yeah, I haven't updated the little chat here yet. I'm gonna get your name on there soon. I'm pretty sure you subbed a patron last night. So I gotta update that this evening before next stream, but it's pretty much incapacitated last night, and I only had time to do a little bit of work this morning. I had a lot of house errands to do. And then I was at the gym. So I've just been on the go, 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 go. Let's get this here. Let's see. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a missing seam right in front of my face. Can I grab that? Why can't I hit you? Yeah, let's just mark you up. That'll be enough. And let's get this here. All right, got some chat out of the corner of my eye. That looks good. Eddie Wright says, I use HTML5, CSS, and JavaScript. Those are currently my first computer languages. What made you use C Sharp? Good question. It's just game development in general. I did take a class in college on HTML and CSS. I did one in JavaScript, I think, but to be honest, I don't really remember JavaScript. It's sort of similar to what I'm using, but a little different. I used to just kind of read it and like try to figure out what was going on because Unity used to also be JavaScript. You could use C Sharp or JavaScript, but I think after like Unity 5, they changed that and now it's just C Sharp. So yeah, I just use this because that's what you do to make games. Yeah, I mean, you basically need to learn if you're going to use the Unity game engine, you got to learn C Sharp, and then if you want to use Unreal, you need to learn C++. Well, I mean, you don't have to. You can do everything in Blueprints, which is like a visual scripting tool. But yeah, the C++ would do a bit better for you guys if you wanted to make sure you can really code your games on Unreal Engine. So you need to learn some kind of C language, that's for sure. They're both helpful for you. Space by Name says, whoa, I didn't know they removed JavaScript from Unity. Oh, it's been gone for a long time. If you try to import a JavaScript file, you can't make it natively in there. And yeah, I don't think you could even use it. They could read it. They could see what the object was back in like the 2017 versions, but I'm pretty sure Unity 5, like from ages ago, was the last one to accept JavaScript, I think, as a coding method. You have to use C Sharp now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But nowadays, if you have a JavaScript file and you have it sitting in your project, it will show up as a broken file. The new versions of Unity don't even know what it is. They used to just in like 2017 or so, like those versions would show up and be like, do we want grass up there? No. They would show up and you could see that it was like a JavaScript file, but you couldn't use it. But yeah, now it's completely, you can't use it now. Oh, I don't want to clear any seams. I want to reset this. Which is fine with me. I learned C Sharp first because I kind of noticed that was more used, more readily available in the documentation and all that kind of stuff. Eddie Wright says, what type of game are you making and can we play it from our devices? This is a maze game. If you can't tell from this, basically you start at the bottom and it's a first person puzzle game. So you are like your like character would be like down inside these walls and this is like what your view would be. And then it's like solving your way off the back of a maze on like, the back of a cereal box, but in 3D and, giant levels. And there's like puzzles and stuff you got to solve, and like this has these giant this level per se has like all these inner hallways and like towers to climb, and you got to figure out which ones to go into. So it's a giant 3D puzzle game. And currently this game is going to be available on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Steam. So if you have any of those devices, then you'll be able to play it. Possibly might drop it on Atari, but I don't think. Honestly, I don't know if the VCS is going to run this. I got to get my hands on the dev kit for sure. We're working on getting tilting tiles on the Atari, but yeah, we'll have to see. This game is going to be a bit bigger and more demanding, probably. Just the 3D levels. Like some of the levels I made, If you hadn't been on the streams, the level, that giant tower level we made, like last week or whenever, like that is some serious render distance, and like I'm not sure how much I'm gonna de-render because I want the tower to seem like looming and massive, kind of like you're playing a Xenoblade game. And yeah, so got a lot of rendering going on in this game. Um, a lot of models, really. So we'll see if it can handle it on there. I might just cap it at like I'm thinking about just doing my releases on that system, but just dropping them in like 720p instead of 1080p because I'm kind of thinking like that would maybe just solve my problems and the performance would be good. But I can't really tell until I get my hands on it. Uh, ah, was that not? Did I just leave it out? Oh, I guess must that one just got left out. I didn't actually have to rotate. All right, so the textures are all on this hallway, looking pretty good. Oh man, see, look how fast we're texturing this middle section. It looks like we're speed deving now compared to how slow it is with all these weird off sections. So yeah, this is gonna be great, guys. Great, great, great. Let's go ahead and get this. Let's grab these. Guys, I don't know what leave it in the chat. What's your favorite TreeFall Studios franchise? What's your favorite TreeFall Studios game? I've been having this thought recently, and some of my other devs in the chat will understand. Um, I'm like having fun making this game. Like I'm not bored making this game. Like it's stretching my creativity already. There's a lot of challenges. There's going to be some programming challenges that we're going to have to overcome over the next couple of days for some of these levels that are interactive and stuff. So this is definitely fun. I definitely have fun playing these maze games, and I really like the reaction of the players that play them and like, try to find their way out and stuff. Definitely fun. So and maze is also super nostalgic for me because this is like one of the times, this is like one of the franchises, the original game that basically propelled us to full-time game development. So thinking about those times, really, it's really special. TreeFall Studios development years, those are really special years. Doing the original Maze and then Maze Pedestal of Trials. But if my other developers in the chat understand, I have this new idea. And I just want to stop everything I'm doing and create a brand new game from scratch. Oh, it's so terrible. It's so bad. You can't do that and survive. You can't keep, because that's what we've done like all year. We've done a bunch of partial games and then like stopped, and then we're like, all right, we're gonna do another project first. Um, yeah, Space Marine. Oh boy, I have a new idea. Yeah, there's like another game like I'm like destined to build, and like I'm really excited about it. But I'm like, well, it's got to come after this. But I also have like other stuff that's already in the slate, like on our schedule, that's supposed to come out after this. So it's like I can't just like throw in a brand new game that's like programming heavy, like would be a lot of um issue getting it to work. Like I'd have to overcome a lot of things because like I'm a pretty novice programmer, and like usually the programming is like what slows down development and kind of make sure I can figure out how to make it work and get everything top notch. I mean, I'm a lot better now than I used to be. um, if you're like a complete beginner, you would, if you looked at the tilting tiles code base, you'd be like, holy moly, this is a lot. But you know I still have a long way to go to be like, to me in my head, like a professional awesome programmer or whatever. But yeah, I have like this roguelike idea, and I'm like, I'm really gonna make the best roguelike that has ever existed. But I'm like, it's gonna take so long. I actually think actually think that I want to try to do this game on like the side in a little while and do like a Steam early access bid because I've never done that before. I've never done early access. I don't really put Steam as my preferred platform. We've talked about it all the time. We don't really make too much money on Steam. Most of the money we make is from consoles and stuff. But I have a feeling like a long game like this, a long drawn out development, that I could maybe like do it. That I feel like the genre would be really good on Steam, and like if I could get lucky and really build up the wishlist following, that I could do like the first set of classes and stuff, like on early access, and then like if people enjoy the concept and they're buying it and playing it a bunch and whatnot, then we can build out the rest of the game on there with Steam first. It might be like the only time I ever try that because basically I don't know. I'm working on a few things where I want to. We got some leakage there. Where I want to try to see if we can get Steam like a little bit more of a prominent platform because everyone else seems to make money on Steam pretty easy, but I feel like it's rather difficult to be honest. So yeah, I might give it I might give it a shot. I might give it a go. I got these comments. Space Name says, I love Pitterpot. Out of what I've played from Maze is really cool. He says, roguelikes are popular right now. I just played the Wraithbinder beta. Yeah, I don't even know what that one is. Yeah, they're like super popular, but like I want to do the subgenre. Like I want to do deck building roguelike, like a card based game. And I know there's like a million of those, but I feel like I have an idea. I want to do my version. I actually want to do two of them, to be honest. Like I want to do my own version of Slay the Spire, and then I want to do like a deck building game that like no one else has tried, type of deal. And I think I've got a pretty good idea about it. I'm not going to talk about it on the stream though, because I'm like, oh, they always say like, "Oh, you're not supposed to talk about your ideas," because I'm like, "Oh, well, people could take your ideas or whatever if it's too early." But I'm like, at the same time, like, bro, to get this idea to work, you'd have to be like, a massive team. You'd have to really, you have to work really hard to get it to come out before we did. So, I'm gonna try something new on the card deck building genre. It might be a fluke. It might be a flop, but I have an idea that would change it up to maybe make it fun. As far as roguelikes go, I like a lot of them. A lot of the 3D action ones I don't really like. Um, like I don't really like. I don't know if I could say that because like I only played like an hour, but I tried Hades, which everyone loves, and like I was like, I don't care about this gameplay, so like I'm not gonna loop this forever. I don't really like walking around as 3D characters in roguelikes. I like strategy, I like thinking, that kind of thing. Like my favorite one is Slay the Spire, that's deck building. But then I also like Into the Breach, like stuff like that. That's turn-based. That's unbelievable. That's like one of the best games ever, I think. Um, and I played a bunch of the deck builders, like a ton. All the ones that are similar to Slay the Spire, like Monster Train and stuff. I played Banners of Ruin, Rogue Book. Um, and then I've got the ones that do unique gimmicks like Dicey Dungeons and stuff. Played a bunch of those. Um, there's a bunch I've tried. I really like the card based ones. I've done a couple of turn based ones. Floppy Nights. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. That was like free on Game Pass. Um, and then now it's on. At first, it was like a Game Pass deal. They bought exclusivity for that, but now it's like on Switch and stuff. So that was like a deck building game, but it was also turn based. It was like mixed between turn based and deck building. So it was pretty cool. I actually liked that. I 100%ed it. So I like things that do unique stuff. where they mash the genres. Um, yeah, definitely some cool stuff. Now, I will say, like, I've played some action combat roguelikes that are good. Like, I did put a little time into Dead Cells, but that's like 2D action combat. It's a little different. Um, but I think like that is like really good. Um, like their art, everything that they had going for it, their art, their design, all of it was really good. People really liked that one. And then I played a little bit. I haven't played too much yet, but I've played a little bit of Risk of Rain and Risk of Rain 2. And I'm pretty into Risk of Rain 2 already. Me and my friends played that online a couple times. So I'm like, there's an action roguelike where you're 3D action, but it's because the combat is 3D shooting instead of like I don't know. I would maybe like instead of the top down combat, like Hades is kind of top down combat. I don't know. I want to give Curse of the Dead Gods a try because that's like Souls like top down combat roguelike, but I haven't tried it yet, so I can't tell you whether or not it's one that I would like or I couldn't recommend it or anything. So let me know in the comments if you got any, if there's any roguelike fans watching the stream. What's your favorite roguelike game and why? I tried Rogue Legacy. I guess this is like an older one that's like huge in the genre, and I did not really like it. I only played it for very, very briefly. But I do want to try a couple more of the 2D ones like that. There are what's the other one called? I haven't done the Spelunky stuff. I don't do the Isaac stuff. Um, what's the other one? There's one more that I'm thinking of that I'm like would be semi interested in trying. I forget what it is. But there's a bunch. They're super popular and for good reason. But yeah, I kind of have some ideas on making one, but it's going to be a longer ordeal. And honestly, what I really need to do before I can do it is like I need to hire a full-time artist. I need an artist to do the cards. Like, I just think it wouldn't be so good. I could do okay, but like my 2D art skills aren't as good as my 3D skills, and I don't think that it would turn out too good. I tried a couple like beta art things, and I'm like, I don't know. Let me know if you got if you're an artist needing a job, you know where to find me. 2D art skills. You know what? Actually, man, what I would love is one of my old coworkers. I bet you he would like to do that. That development would be pretty cool for him, probably. But he already has another job. Let's see. Space My Name says, I'll play a roguelike if there's some form of progress. Hades was in the middle for me. Isaac and Wizard of Legend are mildly frustrating for me to play. Wizard of Legend, I tried that and I did not like it. I just don't like that top down, like the 2D, like that perspective really boggles me. I realized what I was going to say I wanted to try though. I wanted to try the mining one. The one where you're like you're like in uh undermine, that's what it's called. It's like you're mining from gold and gems and stuff. And Eddie says went AFK for 20 minutes to eat lunch. Now I'm back. Cool, well, glad you're back. We're currently discussing roguelikes because I have an idea. I want to make a roguelike game in the future after this, after the next couple of games. And then I was asking the chat, what's your favorite roguelike game? Why? and if you like them at all, and why. And yeah, I do like I don't really like see okay, that's the difference between rogue like and rogue light. The ones that have the actual sense of progression, a lot of people like hate those. Like there's some people that just don't like that. And then there's some people that like those only. So it sounds like you like those kinds. Have you ever I guess you haven't played Slay the Spire. To me that's like the best game ever. But like for something like that there is no actual progression, but the more you play you feel like you're progressing because you just unlock more cards that can show up in runs and you unlock more relics that can show up in runs, but technically you don't have any persistent upgrades for your characters, so like every run, even on the hardest difficulty and all of that kind of stuff, is like it's just from scratch. It's all random. It's all, random. So yeah, I kind of like that. Also, I guess you probably haven't you didn't mention it. I don't know if you played Into the Breach. Like that's like my second favorite one. And there's no progression at all in that. It's just you just keep playing it over and over. Um, I guess there's some sense of progression because if you if you beat the game and you survive a run, you're allowed to take like one of the captains that you found in that run and use him or her in the next run. So you can kind of like choose to start a certain build type for your troops, basically. But really, you could just randomize it in the beginning, anyways, because they give you one. So it's not really progression. I don't think there's any in that. So like my two favorites don't really have progression. Although I would say something like Rogue Book, it feels like that one does have progression, persistent progression. The more you unlock things, you can buy persistent upgrades for like your paintbrushes and like your characters, I'm pretty sure. I've only played that for about like 8 hours. So I'm not actually positive, and it's been a little while since I played it. Um, I want to get back to it. I stopped playing that to play a little bit of Banners of Ruin, and not because like Banners of Ruin is better than Roguebook or anything. It was fun. I played a little bit of it. It was fun. It's not like the most in-depth one, but I love animals. I grew up reading the Redwall series. Shout out to anyone who has read that before. And the Banners of Ruin art is literally like it just looks like Redwall to me. So I'm like, oh, if we're talking animals like otters and foxes and mice and bears and stuff for our main characters on a game, I'm like, you've got me sold. Even if I didn't even like the gameplay of the game, for sure, TreeFall Studios will have games like that in the future. Whenever we do like more mature style games like there I do want to do like a Souls like where it's just like the stamina based combat and stuff, but I don't want it to be like super like dark and mature the same way that Dark Souls is. And I'm thinking of doing it in the world of like similar to like a world of Redwall where it's like, animals and you're fighting creatures and spiders and monsters and things like that. um Eddie Wright says, "Have you made a game from scratch?" Every single game we make is from scratch. Just about. There's only been like the two. I think there's only two games. Actually, I don't even think it's two. I think it's literally just Pitterpot. I think Pitterpot is the only game where we purchased one asset, and it was just the one. It was just the camera controller, and that was it. But everything else we do is from scratch. That's what we're doing right now. We're building this level from scratch. These are our textures that we created. We created this model. We're texturing the model. So yeah. And then Space Flame says, "Oh, same creators as FTL. I've seen this one before." Yep, it's the game they made after that. I actually haven't played the original FTL, but I think that I would really like it. And Space Flame says, "I feel like with cards, I may enjoy roguelike more." Yeah, because like the card build stuff is like you get stuff that's so OP. Like you can have Like I've literally considered. I played Slay the Spire so much; it's unbelievable. I probably have more than 1,000 hours into the game at this point, and I feel like okay, well, I know the game really good, so I'm like, I'm not like saying that I'm like really good at the game, but I just know the game and stuff like really, really well. At some point, I've like considered just opening a personal YouTube channel where I just upload crazy Slay Spire runs. I'll probably stream it sometime soon just because I love it so much. It's like so good. But I feel like if you had like permanent progression upgrades in that game, I'm like it would just be busted because the amount of like crazy stuff that can happen on like any given run, like on every single one, it's like that game is so balanced, it's crazy. And it's like if you know how to work the game, and you really see the synergies between cards and relics and builds and character styles and stuff, it's like you can just do anything and it all just works. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind. It's so awesome. I would highly recommend it. I think it's on sale on Steam if you're interested. I think it's on sale right now for like a week deal, for $8 or something like that. I was considering purchasing it because I own it on PlayStation and I own it on Switch, so I could play it on PlayStation. And I have 100% of the achievements on PlayStation. I have 100% of the achievements on Xbox, and I pretty much play the game now just on the Switch. And yeah, I considered about picking it up on the PC just so I could have it like literally everywhere I am and everywhere I go. It's that fun to me. I love it so much. It's surprising that I haven't already made a card game, but like I said, I kind of need a 2D artist. And I'm still working on my programming skills to get it to be that good. But I got the game design like done and kind of ready to go. So yeah, if I could swing a 2D artist who's like good at Photoshop or whatever, who's good at like 2D concept art, and then also like UI direction, then yeah, maybe we'll go ahead and do that next. Because I also think that would be a huge win for the studio. There's a lot of rogue like channels on YouTube, where people literally play like every roguelike coming out, and we haven't done that genre before, so I think that like it would get us a new base of people that would find our studio, and it would help us grow. Just like that's how I'm looking at the Atari stuff. I'm like, well, there's a whole new base of people that have never heard of TreeFall Studios before. So doing different things like that I think is very helpful. What else? Let's see. Um, Space Name says I'll pick it up for $8. Yeah, I think it's $8.49. I'm pretty sure I'm really in money saving mode. I still haven't talked about it why, but yeah, I'd be saving money like so hardcore. Like even I'm at the point right now where I'm like, I gotta debate spending the $8. Like especially if it's a game I already have. I'm like on such a tight budget of like spending right now that I'm like I've already calculated out the only games I'm getting for the rest of the year, and they're basically all Nintendo games. I want to purchase the Pikmin ports in September. I'm gonna get WarioWare, Mario RPG, and Mario Wonder, and that's basically the rest of my year. That's like all of the games I'm gonna get. To me, that's like a crazy amount of games to buy, anyways. Um, all Switch games. All Switch games. I do want to pick up. I mentioned I do want to pick up a used copy probably of Elden Ring on PS4 so I can play that. And then yeah, I think what else do I want? Is that all the way in the bottom? Yeah. Let's see if we. Yep, we're not seaming up here. Let's reset that. That looks good. Yeah, I kind of want Dragon Quest Monsters on Switch too, to be honest. But that's one of those ones like maybe I'll try to ask that for Christmas. you know, maybe I'll get that for my wife or something. Um, because it's not really high on the priority list. That's already like 4 games. It's like 100. What is that? That's like $240 over the next 4 months. I'm like, that's a little much. So we'll see. Because I did buy Pikmin 4. You know, you guys saw me complaining about that one pretty heavily. Um, so I thought about selling it. I've liked it more now that I've played it, to be honest. But I still hate it. It's still my least favorite one. So yeah, I might sell it, but I'm also curious to see if they do DLC. So I'm like kind of holding on to it. So if I don't sell it, then yeah, then at that point I will probably not get Dragon Quest or any of those other games, or buy any other games like digitally, basically. Um, yeah, let's see what we got. Space Name says I was really into TCG as a kid. What is that? What's the acronym stand for? I don't remember what that is. And then Eddie Wright says, "Can you play the game or play what you have so far? Do you mean on Maze or the roguelike? Because I haven't started actually coding it. It's just like pseudocode. Um, and then Space My Name says, I'm right there with you. I've got maybe 20 left in my games budget right now. Oh, trading card games. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah. Um, yeah, I wasn't really into trading card games as a kid. I wasn't allowed to play Pokemon or anything like that. So like I wasn't, and I definitely couldn't play Yu-Gi-Oh. So those Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh was like what was trending when I was a kid. But I wasn't allowed to play those. So like I didn't really get into card games. And it wasn't until recently I started doing a little bit more. Like my brother's really into Magic the Gathering, and like I've played that with him. I'm not really a fan. Like just for I thought it was fun, but like just for the sake of like if you want to keep up with Magic and you want to play all the current stuff, there's like never ending cards. It's so expensive. They buy like all these accessories and all this stuff. It's just to me, I'm like, whoa. It's like too much money, way too much of an investment. So like something like that's cool. But then I started getting into like the roguelike card games on, you know, all these indie games and stuff. And now it's like one of my favorite genres, not gonna lie. I played a bunch. Like when I had my Xbox before I sold the Xbox, like I played a bunch on Game Pass. Like I played a ton of Monster Train. I played like hundreds of hours of Slay the Spire. Yeah, I played Floppy Nights, a bunch of random stuff that was on there at the time. All like good indie games and stuff. So yeah, but yeah. Eddie Wright says, "How does 3D graphics work on modern games?" I mean, it depends. If you, it depends on how you're building your games. It's kind of a broad question. How does 3D graphics work? But technically, the graphics in the render engine is taken care of by the game engine itself. So you know, unless you're writing a game engine from scratch, you're not going to have to code, you know, like the computer to render the graphics yourself. It's already built in, and you know we're just using, you know, you would create textures as 2D art, 2D files, and then you create materials with those to overlay on top of your 3D meshes, which are created in modeling programs, and it's all set up and ready to go in game engines and commercial game engines, I should say. Like all the render aspects are built in for you, so you don't have to do that yourself. Let's go here. That looks good. Is this gonna get any walls? It does. We have some leaks somewhere over here. I feel like I'm talking pretty fast, but also like I'm not slowing down. And you know, we're only at 346. There's a lot of things to fix. You guys can see like I'm doing a bunch of stuff real fast. Like I'm like, oh well, you know, I thought this was good, but nope, it wasn't good. It was flipped around. Some of these. So what did I do? The outside walls? Yeah, but I guess it didn't loop all the way around to do the inside. Yeah, so we got to fix all these. I'm having to stop and double check, and we're probably gonna miss stuff, to be honest. Like there's so many inside walls, there's so many places. We're gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going this fast and all this, but we got to double check at the end when we're running around in the game engine and making sure that we're not missing anything. We'll probably find somewhere where we'll just go and walk around the corner and be like, well, that wall is not the right scale, or we missed that, or whatever. So I'm still going fast, but we're getting it done pretty quickly, and we'll pick up anything that we miss along the way. Gotta fix this one. Are they all like that on there? Yep, they are. Boom, boom. It's because that door was cut out at the bottom. But yeah, so Space My Name says my grandmother told me Pokemon is an abomination as a kid. I'm so glad my parents allowed me to play it. Yeah, I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't play it as a kid because I'm not blinded by nostalgia goggles because I'm like I don't know why people like Pokemon so much now. I'm like it's not really that good. At least the video games. I mean, the trading card game might be fun. But I think that Game Freak is like Nintendo's literally they're the worst developer associated with Nintendo. Like the last game they made was just horrendous looking. It's so bad. Um, but yeah, I wasn't allowed to play Pokemon as a kid because the church thought it was like kind of back in the 90s, people still get confused about Pokemon. They thought it was like pocket monsters, so they thought, oh, it's like devil related or whatever. I don't think there's anything wrong with Pokemon, nowadays. But like I probably wouldn't let my kids play like Yu-Gi-Oh. There is like some of those monsters and stuff. There's more like a little bit more of those satanic like symbols, and it's a little bit darker for kids, so I probably wouldn't let my kids play that. I'd let my kids play Pokemon. But I think that the old Pokemon games like on the DS were like the best. Like when I got into those, like by the time I was like middle school to like teenage years, like when I had my DS, like I could play Pokemon then. But yeah, like I thought Diamond was awesome. That was like the first one I played on the DS. And man, I played like Heart Gold on the DS, and holy moly, that was so good. I loved Heart Gold, that remake on the DS. I thought that was so good. And then after that, like I played Black and White, and I know a lot of people like this, but this is like when I started to lose Pokemon because I didn't have the nostalgic tie to it as a kid, and I was like, well, this one's like okay, it wasn't as good to me. And then we moved on to where did they go from there? X and Y on the 3DS. I played those, and then literally basically after X and Y, like I've been done with Pokemon. Like I haven't played any more Pokemon basically. Because I just didn't think they were as good, and like now they're like broken and buggy and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. My opinions on Pokemon are not popular. People still love Pokemon, but I just don't think that they're as good. And I don't know if it was like they felt harder when I was younger, but I'm like now I'm like they're not hard. I'd rather do like a tougher turn-based game or whatever. Um, yeah, and yeah, and like the graphics and animations and stuff is like they're a little weak now, and their creativity is kind of like suspect. Like at this point, like how many Pokemon can you make? I feel like they try to make too many Pokemon games too fast, and like they just come off unpolished and stuff. I did not play Sword and Shield. I skipped that. I kind of wanted to, but then like apparently those games had performance problems on Switch. Nothing like Scarlet and Violet or whatever, but they had performance problems and all that. Where? Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not super into Pokemon. That's probably like my least favorite. If we're calling it a Nintendo franchise, that would be my least favorite Nintendo franchise that they have ever made, basically. I like everything more. Like I like Kirby more than Pokemon. Which is to me like Kirby's on the low end of the list, so I'm like that's saying a lot. Um yeah, like they're advertising the new Pokemon DLC and stuff. That's like part of the Nintendo Directs. They just did a Pokemon Presents. I don't keep up with like any of that. And I feel like everyone who is young who play Pokemon, like at this point, it's like they're like obligated. They just play them all. I mean, they sell so much, it's crazy. Whether the games are like good or bad and stuff. That looks pretty good. Let's leave it that direction. Man, we got all sorts of towers going on here. It's a lot to texture all this. No offense to say if I roasted your favorite Pokemon games. Hopefully you don't think Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet are the best ones, I guess. Those are the only ones I think are kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this. X and Y was fine. It was okay, I guess. Um, but yeah. Let's see what Space My Name says. The older games were fun. I hated the last few main series ones. I'd say the GBA in the early DS era were the best. Black and White was fun, but X and Y. But by the time you went to X and Y, it went way down in quality. That's what a lot of people seem to say. You know, I did play one after X and Y. I played the Ruby Sapphire remakes or whatever, and like I played them for like 2 hours and was like, this is no different. I don't really care. And then like I was just at that point like that was it. I was like I was done with Pokemon. So I've kind of moved on. So sad to say, Pokemon's down at the least, the end of my list. I would have like what I used to have like Zelda at the top of my list, but it's not anymore. My real list would be like of Nintendo franchises and like which ones I like the most. It would be like mm, probably like Metroid and then like Zelda or it would have been like Pikmin, but now I think they're ruining Pikmin. It was like my top ones are like Metroid, then like Zelda, Mario, and Pikmin. Um, Rhythm Heaven, underrated, less known franchise. Donkey Kong is up there at the top for me. I like Donkey Kong much better than like Kirby. I actually like Donkey Kong better than Mario, to be honest. Like the Donkey Kong countries. Um, Tropical Freeze and Donkey Kong Country Returns are like some of my favorite games ever. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is like in my top 10 games because I love 2D platforming games. I don't really talk about them as much, but like platforming games, 3D and 2D platforming, it's like my favorite genre of games. I mean, literally. Um, that's why I made Pitter Pot and stuff. But yeah, I feel like there has never been. I don't think there's a 2D platformer that's better than Tropical Freeze. Some people agree with that opinion. Some people will be like, "Well, that's blasphemous," because they like some hard, tough platformer, an indie platformer or whatever. But I think it's far between, for, as far as like level design, graphics, music, gameplay, difficulty, balance. I think Tropical Freeze is like the best game ever for 2D platformers. It's literally so good. Highly recommend you play it if you haven't. If you have a Nintendo Switch, you can play it. I mean, the Switch version is better, I guess, objectively speaking. I think it loads a little faster than the Wii U version, but don't play the Funky Kong mode. The easy baby mode they put in there ruins the game. You gotta play the whole game as Donkey Kong. That's what makes the game fun. That's how the game was designed. Um, yeah. Gotta get hardcore, guys. Hardcore 2D platformers. Yeah. So, I know I shock people with my Pokemon opinions, sadly. But maybe one day we'll go back to Pokemon and maybe I'll try it again someday. I mean, I'm seeing like the sentiment online. I've been seeing a lot of people like getting so hyped for Dragon Quest Monsters because they're like, "Oh, I'm Pokemon but better." And I'm like, I've never played Dragon Quest Monsters before. I never played them on the DS, but if it's supposed to be like Pokemon but better, then I'm gonna kind of try it because I played the first Dragon Quest game I really ever played was the more recent one, the 11, and I like it so far. I haven't finished it or anything, but it's fun. Mm. Gotta get some water. I realized I was like talking for so long without having no water. All right, looks like we're all the same direction here. Let's highlight those, shrink them up. Uh-oh. Oh, this actually needs to be 0.4 scale. There we go. We're matching the same brick scale now, everybody. Let's slide around to make sure everything looks okay. Got a little bit of, not the greatest tile there, but that's okay. We missed here. This must have not looped all the way around, or they must have been deselected somehow. It's a good question for the chat. Okay, let me grab Spaceman Names here. He says, I'd say GBS. Oh yeah, I got that one. If you ever go back, play Emerald or Platinum, I would say those were the most solid. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely go back and play the older games because, like, I like the Pokemon formula, like, you know, collecting them, you know, training them. Turn-based battles is like I'm all about some turn-based battles. I kind of just wish that it was like A, harder, and then like, you know, B, you know, just more fun. I think like I don't know. I think some of the old games were super, super fun. So if I would go try those GBA ones, I would probably be pretty impressed and probably enjoy them quite a bit. But yeah, here's a good question for the chat because we still got some viewers tuning in live, hanging out. What's your favorite game franchise ever and why? Doesn't have to be Nintendo franchise. Can be PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. Although not to roast on Xbox. I would be surprised if someone's if someone's favorite is from Xbox. Or I would be sad for you. I would be surprised. I'd be sad because they kind of let most of their franchises go. Let's say it in the nicest way possible. I feel like PlayStation has let a lot of their franchises go though, but it's much more understandable if one of those is still your favorite. Oh yeah, here we go. Let me agitate the Xbox fan in the crowd. Thomas is in the chat. My Xbox gamer over here. Yeah, a sucker for Halo. Yeah. I have known a lot of people growing up, like that was their favorite game franchise ever. And it's a testament to talk about how good those games were. Because like a lot of people argue, like I got some friends that are really into Halo, and that they basically argue that Halo, even that they even think that Halo 3 wasn't good, but like objectively speaking, that Halo 3 was like the last one that was quote unquote good. So it's a testament on how good Halo 1, 2, and 3 were for people to literally still have that as their favorite franchise when they come out with just duds and stinkers for like literally 15 years. Not to roast on Halo too much, but yeah, I mean, most people, Halo Infinite is like kind of dead in the player base and stuff. No one really likes it, and most of the people didn't really like the last couple of games either. But it looks like that's what they're going to keep on doing. They're not switching studios. But if you're a Halo fan, you probably know more about Halo than me. I only can tell you what my actual Xbox fan friends say when it comes to their version of what they think good Halo is. Um, but yeah, because I never played them growing up. I never played Xbox. My friends, I did have one friend that had the OG Xbox, so they had like the OG Halo 2, but I never really wanted to play that as a kid because they literally at the same time, like I didn't have a Nintendo 64, okay? They had a Nintendo 64 and they had an OG Xbox at my friend's house. And I literally every time I came over to play and we would play games, I would beg to play Banjo Kazooie over Halo 2. So that just goes to show you right there. We would play Banjo Kazooie together, and like that was a blast. But yeah, no Halo growing up, no Xbox franchises. Um, Thomas says, BRB, just gonna go get my Xbox set up with Game Pass for when Starfield comes out in a couple of weeks. And then Space My Name says, that is a tough question. Every franchise I enjoy ends up with bad sequels. I'll go with Spyro. Bro, you're my Spyro fan out there too. I hear you. Yeah, it's a tough life to be a Spyro fan because they pretty much ruined, you know, the franchise for like 20 years. And then I still don't even think like the remakes are good. And I don't really like everyone's like begging for another Spyro. They want Activision to do Spyro 4, the guys who, you know, made the trilogy and all that. And I'm like begging for them to not do that. I think Activision is like one of the worst publishers. I'm like, bro, why would you want these like money hungry fools to be making your game? They're putting microtransactions in single player games. I mean, it's like there's like virtual currency in like single player games. You have to sign a privacy waiver when you play an Activision game. If you boot up Crash 4, you have to sign over your rights for them to take your data so you can play a single player game. Like, sorry, dude. No, I hate you. And now Microsoft owns them, and I feel like Microsoft makes the worst business decisions of like any of the developers out there. Their decisions are absolutely terrible. And then they buy the company that's also absolutely terrible. I'm like, well, everyone's like so excited about it, and I'm like, good luck with that. I don't think that's really gonna last. I saw that GameStop is doing this is for Thomas. The GameStop has a special right now. If you take your Xbox Series X in to trade in, you can get a PS5 for $15. That is their current trade offer on the Power Up Trade Play this week. And I'm like, hmm, bro, you can play Starfield on that PC. Well, actually, not on your PC, but you can play it on PC. You don't have to have an Xbox for it. And you can have Game Pass on PC. I think it's like, to me, like all of that's like some of the dumbest decisions you can ever make. Their number one competitive advantage, they're like, well, you don't actually have to buy an Xbox to get it. It's just, they're so stupid. Anyways, let me tell you how I really feel about Xbox. Although I'm still excited about potentially getting our game on Xbox. So it's not like I hate them completely. I just think that they make bad business decisions from a business standpoint. Not even from a game developer or not from a game playing fan standpoint, from a business standpoint. I think that they make bad decisions that lead to less players on their platforms, which means there's less incentive for me to spend money and time developing for their platform. That's what I disagree with about Microsoft for the most part. Also, yeah, well, I won't even mention that. Oh, what is happening? Why did it do that? Let's go here. But yeah, I guess you did say earlier, Thomas, that you were excited for Starfield. So you'll have to tell me, how that is, and if it's totally the best game ever, and then I gotta try it. Oh my gosh. Spaceman Name says I can't even look at Sonic anymore. Yeah, Sonic is like dead, dude. Well, I mean, apparently the new Sonic game was good and like people thought it was good or it sold like 3 to 5 million copies, so like Sonic is quote unquote back. But yeah. I haven't really liked Sonic since like Sonic. I feel like Sonic has always been best on Nintendo platforms, like the ones that they made that were for like Nintendo platforms specifically. Like I feel like Sonic Colors was good. I mean, none of these games are exclusive anymore, but when they originally made that they were pretty good. I enjoyed Sonic Colors, and then but basically I haven't really liked Sonic since Adventure Battle 2 on like the GameCube. Like GameCube Sonic Days was like pretty awesome. And then Thomas says, "Have you played ukulele?" And ha 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 ha! Holy cow! Yeah, there you go. There's my Xbox rant. Shock you for the day. I just don't understand. Like, I mean, me and my friends talk about it all the time, and it's not like a console wars type debate. Like, if you criticize Xbox now on the internet, like people would just say you're console warring and you're like some kid or whatever. And I'm like, dude, when you talk like that, it's like you're the one who's like the kid in console war. I'm like, I just don't even know how. Like Xbox is only still in business. Like if they were like a Sega, when their whole company was games. If their whole company was based on games, they would be out of business. Like they would have been out of business so long ago. Like they're holding on because of goodwill, because of games that had such big fan bases on the Xbox 360. And because Microsoft is Microsoft with Windows and all this other stuff, that they have so much money. Because I don't think that their company it's not that profitable, because they spend a lot of money on services and things, and their number one revenue driver is from people who play games on their system and buy microtransactions. That's why you're going to get more microtransactions junk on their systems. Like that's like where all the Xbox money comes from. Like if you look at their, it comes from services, it comes from just Game Pass subs, Xbox subs, and then people paying for cosmetic items in Apex Legends. That's like where their services. That's where all their income is coming from. It's not from releasing a new. They're going to try like they've announced Fable and they've announced some Xbox brand IP coming back, but they don't really make money from selling games, and it's been a while since they've released anything of note, in my opinion. So I don't hate on Xbox. I just think that they're not poised to survive the long run. Like I truly think that if someone was paying attention, that they could just come in and just clobber them and take them out. Their sales numbers are like pretty low. No, they won't. They stopped giving sales numbers during the Xbox One generation, but it's estimated that they sold around 50 million between all the different Xbox One unit SKUs, I would say. And so far they're in like the 20 millions on the series consoles, which is like, that's like, if they keep doing it in a row, like Nintendo couldn't have kept doing it. Nintendo can't come out with like a Wii U every generation where they only sell like 13 million or 20 million, like a GameCube or whatever. Like you just can't keep doing that. You eventually you quit. And their decisions aren't actually enforcing like people to buy Xboxes. Every decision they make is forcing you to buy services and be on their service plans. And instead of actually buying an Xbox, they're focusing more on PC and cloud gaming and all this other kind of stuff. So I don't think it's a long-term strategy to grow a console brand. So that's my opinions on Xbox. Thomas says, dude, I maxed out my stats for all my Chow and Sonic Adventure 2. And he also says he ever played ukulele. I've only played about an hour of ukulele because, yeah, I didn't play too much of it. Although I want to go back and give it a whole shot. I started it for just a few minutes and then like didn't play it anymore. And then I played maybe like 2 hours of the ukulele 2D platforming one, the Impossible Lair that they came out with afterwards. And I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, so looking back, like I like Banjo Kazooie as a kid. I thought that was pretty cool, and I played it recently, like on the Nintendo 64. I still play Banjo. I even played Banjo on the Xbox when I was playing my Series X because they have the 360 port or whatever since they bought Rare. That's another thing that Xbox does. All they do, they don't know how to make games. They just buy studios that do know how to make games, and then all of a sudden, all those studios' games suck. So if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what does. Got real talk today on the dev stream, boys. Real talk. But yeah, so I played it on my Xbox, and I think Banjo Kazooie is good. I think it's better than Mario 64. I really don't think that Mario 64 holds up, and that's blasphemous for some people, but I think Mario 64 is like one of the weaker Mario games per se. So I still like Banjo Kazooie, but I also think that it's not as good as people remember. Like it doesn't hold up like as well as some other games. I think I think the PS1 generation is the same as the Nintendo 64. I think PS1 games in general hold up much better than 64 games do. And I don't know if that's because of the one stick thing, or what, or just how they do. I don't even think it's about that. I just think it's like some of the design. Like I infinitely think Spyro the Dragon 1 is much better than Banjo Kazooie and much better than Mario 64. And you didn't have the camera, you didn't have to move it you didn't even use the other stick. They had like an active camera system where it would just follow your player, and so as a kid you didn't have to turn the camera. You could put it manual if you wanted to and turn the camera, but I just think that in general a lot of the PS1 games hold up a little bit better. I think that switches to me, in my opinion. I think that GameCube games hold up better than PS2 games. because I just think that like the design was a little bit better, and a lot of the PS2 games were, you know, in a certain vein of design. So, and when I agree with you on the maxed out Chow for Sonic Adventure 2, dude, I played the Chow Garden so much. It's crazy. Like I loved that junk. I loved Sonic back then on Sonic Adventure 2 on the GameCube. Wow. Talk about awesome. Like as a kid, like I just thought it was so awesome. Like I couldn't even tell you then why it was fun, but the Chow Garden was so addictive. It was so awesome. It was fun as crap. I loved it. And also like Escape from the City is literally that theme, that song. I could just run down the street. That song is so good, and that level was so cool that literally I would play that in the car. I would go on a road trip. We have to sing Escape from the City, like literally. My kids got to be are going to be ready for some crazy times on the road trips, but yeah, no, super super awesome. Well, is this because where are we here? Yeah, that's not the one. Where is the one? Not that one, I guess. Not this one. Is it this one? Is this the one? Oh, shoot. I forgot to make the platform. I forgot which one we were supposed to go into. I don't think it was that one. Well, I'll decide whenever we put it in the game engine. So yeah, but cool to see other Sonic Adventure fans out there. There are some good Sonic games. I miss like the old Sonic stuff, but and speaking of old Sonic stuff, like man, I was just talking about kart racers. I'm a huge fan of like kart racers, like Mario Kart is my jam, and I love all of the Mario Karts. My favorite is Double Dash. Love Double Dash so much. GameCube is just the OG king of video games. Nintendo was just at another level on GameCube, I feel like. And I love Mario Kart 8. Love Mario Kart 8, not gonna lie. But Double Dash was so difficult. If you go to play that game now and you've only played Mario Kart 8, you will be just slamming into walls like crazy. The courses designs were so tight. Everything was tough. Shortcuts were well balanced. They were like very difficult to achieve, but if you could achieve and pull off the shortcut, you would actually get a substantial lead. Uh, just awesome. They just don't make stuff like that. You couldn't hold the items, so you had to time it right if you wanted to shield yourself. All the characters had a special item, so like your build mattered of like who you were playing as. Just the two riders thing was so cool, switching them, and that was the first time that Mario Kart introduced two um, items that you could hold because it actually made sense because you had two riders in the car, and now you can just hold two items and it doesn't make sense. It's just because it made the game better, and that's because of Double Dash. You're welcome, people. The GameCube. But I was talking about kart racers with some friends recently, and I'm like, man, the reason I started going on about Double Dash is because Sonic Racing Transformed, All Stars Racing Transformed, the game that's like on, I think it's on like maybe like the Vita, on the Wii U. It might be on, I don't know if it's PS3 generation, but it's not on like PS4 and Xbox One. That game, that was an awesome racing game. Like that was like when I saw that back in the day, I played that a bunch and I was like, "Oh my gosh, is Sega back?" Because like it had the tracks and the characters from, Super Monkey Ball and Knights and like every Sega franchise you could think of, and the tracks were Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, dude. I'm like, man, we had some obscure stuff in there, and the tracks were like super awesome, and they would transform and change like on the different laps, and I was like, wow, this is like a step above. Mario Kart doesn't do this. Like this is crazy, and it was really really fun, and building your cars was fun. So yeah, I think that was like the best Sonic racing game that there was. So I'm like, Sonic was like really hitting a stride for a while from like a two generation thing. I mean, I guess like everyone likes the old school Sonics, like Genesis and stuff back in the day, and before that, like the original Sonic the Hedgehog games and stuff. But we're talking about like newer 3D stuff. There was like a time where like the 3D Sonic was really good, and now it's just not as good. And Space My Name says, "What did you think of Sonic Free Riders?" I actually didn't play that one. I only played like the demo or like maybe a little bit of a friend's house. I'm not totally sure. And yeah, I think it's cool looking. I would probably try that now. That game's on the Wii, right? Um, I would definitely play that now because I've seen some stuff like when I listened to played Zero Gravity, enjoyed it. I listened to like random video game soundtracks, compilations on YouTube while I'm working and stuff, and there was some Sonic Riders themes that came in, and I was like, whoa, this is cool. And some of them have like videos to them and stuff, and yeah, I remember seeing some of like the footage, like the chill beats from Sonic Riders or whatever, and I was like, this is pretty cool. I would probably like it, to be honest. But it's just so hard to beat. Where is that? How did that come down here? That doesn't. That looks like those are all seamed. Oh, because it goes in, I guess. There must be something missing here. Yeah. Yeah, but I would play Sonic still. Yeah, PS2 Wii. Yeah, yeah, because I saw that game on the Wii and I wanted it, but I never had it. So that's going a different direction. We need to flip this guy. But yeah, as far as ruining franchises go, it's not just to me. I feel like modern gaming has a lot of faults to it. It's not just Microsoft. I think that they push the hardest at some of the worst aspects of modern gaming, so that therefore it's just more noticeable that they've completely ruined franchises. And like Sony and Nintendo aren't fully there yet, but they do their fair share of ruining franchises as well, both Sony and Nintendo. So it's not like Microsoft gets all of the heat. I just think that Microsoft pushes a little hard into the digital currency, all digital space, microtransactions, that kind of stuff. Um, they're going hard in the all digital world of like, there's a rumor coming out that's hit this week that Xbox is going to be doing an all digital Xbox Series X, and that's like their version. That's going to be their next thing. They already have an all digital console. PlayStation 5 has an all digital console, and it did not really sell well. The disc version is really outselling it, so I feel like that's good news. But in the same time, like people still buy a lot of the digital content on PlayStation and stuff. So once these companies all decide to just push it, that's what you'll just end up getting. I hope the Nintendo Switch 2 rumors are true, that, there is a physical port and Nintendo's not going to go all digital, so that kind of ruins things too. Um, yeah, privacy policies, DRM policies, all that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, those are strongest on Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft has stuff like on Xbox, like the new Forza game. You can't even play a single player game unless you're connected to the internet because of the licensing that they have in that game. I mean, Sony doesn't do stuff like that. You can play a Gran Turismo game with real life car licensing and it's not a problem. And people are like, well, it's a licensing issue, so that's why they justify Xbox doing it. But Xbox does it with like a lot of stuff. It's not just that. Like that's where they would like to be, because they have a lot of stuff in the back end where they're like mining data. Like they're so data oriented. They want to know all about the people that are playing the games. And I'm not really a fan of that. This should be grass, because it would make this easier to do. So, and I don't really like a lot of the games that are coming out nowadays anyways. I think that they're just not good. They are no good. They either make them too easy, you know. I think that's Sony's bane, the attempt to make everything like ultra accessible. Like they've made everything like way too easy, and like it's not even a game anymore. They're very into that. So I think there's lots of problems with modern gaming. Not that making a game easier for other people to play, you know, like disability, accessibility, those options are good. But like changing the design of a game to make it like just basically not even a game, I'm not really a fan of that kind of stuff. A lot of their games come across as interactive movies now. Like there's no skill involved. Everything is third person, over the shoulder, highly cinematic. And it's starting to wear on people. They're like starting to not like that. Um, and a lot of the more gameplay heavy Sony franchises have long gone the way of the dodo bird. And then Mekan, welcome to the stream, man. He says, I've been intensely busy today, so hi to all. Spaceman Name says, hi, Mekan. And yeah, welcome. Glad you tuned in at the end. Good to see you. I hope you're having a great day. You working hard on getting your game done? Whoa, these are facing the wrong way. We are almost done with this, finally. This level is gonna be done. We're just over here ranting about modern games. Or I am, at least. Probably just shocking people in the comments. I guess. Don't come for me if you watch this video after the fact. It's no longer live. And you're saddened about some of my modern gaming takes. Nice. Megan says, finally almost done. Very, very cool. I'll be excited to see it when it comes out. I hope it does well. Shoo-wee, guys. This is looking good now. When you look at it, I mean, we're all textured all the way around. We're on the right scale, right? Do we miss any of these? No, we're good. We got all those little bridges. We got all these walls. But do we have every inside? I think we got all the insides mostly. Mostly. Got the bottoms done. Got these hallways done. These insides, are these all done? We got a couple on the top that we still got to do. Yeah, these two. We got to cut some holes out. But boy, we're close. Got all those bottoms done. Guys, this is a huge level. This is crazy. Just absolutely huge. When you guys play it in the game engine, you're going to be mind boggled. Space by Name says, on the topic of ruined franchises, SimCity 2000 mostly and Kerbal were high up on the list of my games I enjoyed. Yeah, I actually haven't played the SimCity games or Kerbal games, so I haven't done too many simulation games to be honest. Outside of Roller Coaster Tycoon, I played that a bunch as a kid. I would say that's like a sim, or yeah, yeah, that's a simulation game, I guess. Um, so I'm not too big on those genres, although I do like them and I would enjoy playing them now, probably more than I would have then. I'm definitely like into anything strategy oriented now, for sure. And he says, "Oh, and Spore, they never made a sequel." Oh yeah, yeah, that game Spore's like a Wii game, right? I remember seeing that on Nintendo Power. I wanted it, but I never got it. Um, yeah. And thank you, by the way. He says the hallways look fantastic. I appreciate it. It's gonna be cool because it's gonna look on a whole nother level when this is in the game engine and the lighting is built and we got some crystals lighting up the hallways and stuff, and all these have the bump maps and the 3D maps and the bricks are sticking out. Oh, it's gonna be real cool for you guys to explore. That is for sure, for sure. I'm very excited. And then after this, like we're gonna go back. We're gonna knock it down a peg. The next maze that we make tomorrow is gonna be a small one. Because we gotta go backwards and do because this is like level 5. We gotta go back and do level 2. And we gotta go backfill some of these smaller mazes. So it shouldn't take as long. And then even though this is like level 5, like 6 and 7 are probably not going to be this big and this complicated. They're going to be like a little different of a style. So hopefully we can still get this done. Deadline pretty solid. So we'll see. That's a 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Mm, yeah. Spaceman Name says, I played on PC, bought my first GPU just to play Spore. Wow. Very cool. PC gamer out there. I never really played games on PC, especially when I was younger. It's always consoles. Always consoles for sure. Yeah. Well, we're not gonna. You guys are gonna get to see this off. This will be finished off stream again. We're definitely almost done now. Like highly close to this. I mean, this is like literally. This is the finishing touches here. This and this and this can be one. And then I'll probably just show you guys. I might just like briefly overview it. Um, like in the game engine maybe. But probably today I will have this. This is looking like this will be done today. It's a bit closer because we'll see how much more I can do in the next like 10 minutes. I don't have too much left on stream. Got about 10 minutes left that I can do today. But I'm gonna have to work a little bit more. I can't do what I did yesterday. It's not gonna storm today, so we should be able to work with that with power. All right, looking good enough. Not that these don't even matter. This just goes to show you how much we're work. You can get out here if you wanted to. You can run around and get your character out here to look at this. But this is literally like just extraneous textures, so it's all good. Because like you don't actually, you're gonna go inside of these hallways, so like all these outsides, all this stuff, like you could almost leave this stuff blank because like you can't even see it. Even if you were like right here and you looked up, you could see it like right there, but you wouldn't even be able to see this side. But it doesn't really matter. We're getting them all good anyways. Is this, let's pull this back up and then go back here. That is 9, so this is 10. So like something like this. All right. Oh, let's see. We got another comment coming in here. Actually, we need to leave that on. Let's go back here. I'm getting hungry already. 4:30, starving, ready to eat. Final game from my favorites list would be Smash Bros. Nice, got a Super Smash Brothers fan out there. I am definitely a fan as well. Are you, would you consider yourself a good Smash Brothers player? Yes or no? That your answer determines whether or not we're going to play online. Just kidding. But this is that like just 4? So this should be like 0.8 maybe to get the scale right. And then scale the Y by 2. Put it back. Look at that, boys. We got it. Looking good. All right. Let's get this one here. Smash Brothers is crazy, man. The amount of times, the hours I have in Smash Brothers Brawl. We played, the Wii was out like sometime when I was in middle school, but I played the Wii through most of my high school experience. That was the console that was active like when I was in high school, basically. And yeah, so good. We used to play, me and my friends used to play Smash Brothers Brawl like online every single day. I mean, like, we were just in high school, like we played it so much. It was so much fun. Love it. Love Smash 4 on Wii U. Added the GOAT. It added Shulk to the roster. My man, my favorite character ever. From Xenoblade Chronicles, guys. If you haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles, drop what you're doing. Drop whatever you're doing. Leave this stream right now and purchase Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition on the Switch. I think the Wii version is better, but most people, they got to have a little bit of quality life upgrades. So I guess play it on on the Switch so that Nintendo can know, hey, everyone likes the first Xenoblade the best. Get out of here with Xenoblade 2. Get out of here. Yeah, play Xenoblade Chronicles. Definitely do that, guys. And so I love Smash 4 for that reason, and it was fun. We played it a bunch. I played in tournaments back on the Wii U days, and then I was never good. I lost every one of them, but it was still fun. And then Smash Ultimate, I honestly haven't played that much, to be honest. Not too much. Like, I could have played a lot more, but kind of got burnt out. Like, I didn't really have anyone to play the new Smash with online because, like, we did all these tournaments and stuff, like on Wii U, and all my friend group got like pro level at Smash, and I just got like average good. And then they all like went super hardcore into Smash Ultimate and stuff. And then it was basically like, you know, I just, we wouldn't be able to compete. So then you would, when you play with your friends, you would just lose, like all the time. So then it was like no longer fun. And then like the 2 friends that I had that weren't even doing the tournaments, they just played casually. They literally just can't even compete. Like, it's like, even though I'm not the tournament level and my friends are, like, if I would play with them, I would still beat them every single time. There was no one really on my level, so it wasn't really that fun. And I don't really play online that much. Every once in a while, I'll pull it out and just play online. It's kind of fun. 6, 5. Let's just go with that. Let's go with 65. It's probably closer. So yeah, I haven't played too much of Smash Ultimate. Maybe we can play if you're good. He says, I always thought I was trash, but I beat everyone at a party once in my first time ever as Minecraft Steve. Spaceman Name says, if you could track my hours in Brawl, it would be in hundreds for sure. Oh yeah. Mine is like around 800. Probably 1,000. Probably 1,000. That's probably one of my most played games of all time. Because we just played that back in high school all the time. And, you know, didn't have any cares, any worries, nothing like that. Just played video games. Alright, that's looking good, guys. My hours in Smash Ultimate is like 150, 180, somewhere around there. Probably 185, I think. So that tells you anything about the skill level. Yeah, it's about... it's a little less than 200, so it's like, I know the game, but it's not like... I don't know, I didn't play it a ton. I didn't play it pro level. I have more hours in Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3 than I do Smash. So, that'll tell you something. I'm pretty good at Splatoon, though. If you guys want to play Splatoon, S rank or above only, or else I can't even talk to you. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'll talk to you, but you won't be able to beat me. It's all about teams in Splatoon, though. That's why that game is fun. It's team-based. Spaceman Name says, my OG Switch died, but I think I have 100 to 200 in Ultimate. Yeah, we probably played it about the same amount then. That's probably about... Yeah. I'm not over 200. It's either 155 or 185. I don't remember. I'm not sure which one mine is. I actually don't have that many hours in a lot of my Switch games. 1 second, guys. Let me grab this. This notification. But yeah, so my most played Switch game of all time is Fire Emblem Three Houses. So yeah. I have like 250 hours in that, just about, or 225. That's my most played Switch game. So let me know in the comments what your most played Switch game is. You guys can let me know. Can see we got a lot of viewers hanging out and tuning in. Thank you guys for watching our texture process. I'll give you guys an overview here. Let's move over to the modeling because I gotta wrap this up. We are almost done. Look at this level. This level design is crazy, guys. This is gonna be so fun to figure out. Look at all the towers. Look at these bridges, these little bridges here coming across from tower to tower, inside hallway towers, secret rooms at the end. Super jump pads are going to be all over the place. Platforming on the outside of the levels. We got to fix that. Got to grab that one real quick. Yeah, just all sorts of cool stuff. This level is done for the purposes of you guys' viewing. Tomorrow, I'm going to do the rest of this off stream. We're almost done. You guys will just see it in the game engine, and it'll be way cooler than it is now. And at the time of this, is still really, really cool. Carl Winslow says level is looking good. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you think so. This one's going to be really fun. Definitely one of my favorites that I made. It's been a process. We've worked on this for days and days on stream. I've worked on it off stream for days and days. But hopefully it's going to turn out really awesome and everyone's going to really like it in the game and it's going to be worth all of the effort. But we're going to be working on a different level tomorrow. So if you guys are new to the channel, I do game development content like this. My name's Eli. I run an indie game studio called TreeFall Studios, the name of the channel here. We release games on PlayStation, Steam. We had games on Wii U. We have a game coming to Xbox, and we're going to try to hit the Atari VCS soon. So We have games on all systems right now. We're trying, but most of our games are on PlayStation. You can check them out in the links in the description below. Play the previous games for this series. We got some games on sale right now in Sony's summer sale. That is ending in like a week, so you can pick up some of our games on sale. We got a couple games on sale on Steam, so you can check those out below as well. If you want to see more game development content, behind the scenes level design, stuff like this, tips, advice on how to get into game development, and you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That would be super, super helpful. We are on the road to 1,500. We actually got another subscriber earlier this morning, so we're at like 14, 18, I think. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. But if you guys are new and you're hanging out and you're enjoying the community, just hanging out with everybody in the chat and just doing some game development, you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Destroy the like button while you're at it so more people will get to see these streams and these videos. I got some new YouTube videos coming down the pipe for you guys soon. So be looking forward to that. More game development tips, videos, and stuff like that, as well as the trailer will be coming up for this game, the announcement trailer, and more content related to Maze. I got to give a huge shout out to everybody who supports TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. I got to give a personal shout out to Carmen Red, Overhyped Gamer, Sharkamino, PLP, and Space by Name today. Getting a special shout out for the brand new Patreon sub, and then his name will be on the list down here going into the future. So if you guys want to support TreeFall Studios on patreon.com, you can find the links in the description below. It helps us out a ton, helps us make more games and videos, helps us fill in some of our miscellaneous income spots when we're waiting on creating new games and stuff. So you can check out that below. If you just want to hang out and find out more TreeFall news, see updates, behind the scenes stuff, you can also join our Discord in the links in the description below. Discord's really growing, got more than 60 members in it now. So I just post news when we're going live, when we're doing stuff. Sometimes randomly at 2 a.m. I'll post some development screenshots of, the level I'm working on, stuff like that. If you want to ask me game development questions, you can also do that in one of the channels in our Discord. So you can check that out and join the Discord if you want to hang out with the community and become part of the TreeFall tribe. All right, guys, with all that being said, this was a blast. Had a fun time. We ranted about modern gaming, kind of dunked on Xbox a little bit, but it's not really that bad. They'll be all right, maybe. We'll see. And we just had fun working on this level. The level's looking pretty awesome. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern time with a brand new level, brand new looks at the game, and we'll be in the game engine. We'll be heading around, walking around in Unity. So yeah, you guys will be able to check that out, and it'll be a whole lot of fun. Thanks for tuning in. I will catch you guys tomorrow.